Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is usually the end of the program, but not tonight. We have saved the best for last, one last bit of history for you. In 1889, see, I'm 20 minutes ahead, so I'm going to fill. In 1889, the final game of the MCA Bonspiel was a 21-end game. That's in the newspaper, and you can trust the newspaper. Well, you could in those days. In 1927, the first Brier was played, 14-end games. 1928, they decided 14 was too long. They played 12 in 1928, and that continued for nearly 50 years. The last Brier played at 12 ends was in 1976. To speak tonight on behalf of the assembled group of past champions with a few thoughts on how it was and whatever else is going through his mind at the moment, one of the Manitoba champions who played that last 12-end Brier, please welcome to the microphone, Don Finkbeiner.
We're the guys that hate it and draw. No, seriously, you guys? I apologize. There should be curfew. There's a curfew for 3 guys in my table, my brother, Bill Perry, and home. And these young guys here, I gotta apologize to the something else. You guys were great. You listened to a lot of the BS and going on. I must say, Bill, you were the best of it. I had more stories than I wanted to tell about what you were saying. But anyhow, when Resby asked me to do this, I must say, I caught off guard of it. It's the last rock I ever threw was in 1988. So 3/4 of you except the Franklin team weren't even born. But anyhow, it's been 53 years since I played in this. And it kind of shakes me up to actually say it. Now, there's 2 guys here, your first time, numbers being 17, you, right? And then you, okay, this is your first year, right? Embrace it. Now, if you have a bit of a career like I've had, you have to speak. After 53 years, you're up in 2078. I would dare say that not many of us will be around to hear that. But I would suggest you start working on your story now. Okay? We probably have some good stuff. I can talk to you later about things and say you can BS your way. Nobody would believe you because it'd be all dead. Anyhow, so listen, I watch the curling now, and I'm talking to Kerry Burtnick and the guys, these legendary guys, and I'm going, I do not recognize the game that I play. Okay? Back in the 70s and 60s and that, the game's changed so dramatically. It's really, really quite amazing. All sports have changed. You get into football and hockey. The hockey guys are faster and better and more skilled. Everybody's good nowadays in hockey. It's just phenomenal now. What I would suggest, the game that's had the most changes of any sport in the history of sports is curling. It is unbelievable. So I'll just give you a bit of my take on it from the 70s to what it is now. I'll start with some, might not sound like a ridiculous thing, but I'm talking about team appearance. Now, you young guys now, and actually, the Sundell kids showed me pictures of you. So you guys look great. You got fabulous uniforms. You got advertising on you. You look like you're Formula One. You look absolutely great. But all of the young guys that are playing, maybe some of the older guys, that frankly, you have this kind of stuff. I guess it doesn't sit well with you guys at your age now. But anyhow, and it really is quite spectacular, and it looks really super. Straight out of gentleman's court. Now, if I take you back to the 70s, okay, in the mid-70s and that, we, as teams, we looked pretty good, but all our curling was on actually pretty good. That's Bill Kerry. I told you about him earlier. Back in those days, all of our games, until we got to the Provincials, was in curling clubs. So we all had matching sweaters, so we looked reasonable. Okay, so we all had, team sweaters, and either our names or no advertising, of course, how we did that in those days. But when we got to provincials, now we're in arenas. Or when you're getting into the Winnipeg arena and arenas like over here or the Keystone, you're up against 7,000 or 8,000 people. Now we come out, now we've never played in this kind of heat. So now our curling sweaters come out. Now our appearance goes downhill drastically. We are a ragamuffin group of players that you've ever seen in your life. And you can look, somebody walk in here, what the hell is this for? Who are these guys? None of us have matching anything. So I, personally, if I'll bring my own team to this, I would wear a black t-shirt. My brother here would wear a brown t-shirt. And I said, perhaps we should try and sort of look like we're a team. And I said, I'm sticking with the black because it's my personal favorite. And it's, of course, I take this to bed with me. And how about me? Well, no, I'm sticking with it. I go, it looks pretty sharp. And I said, well, you're not all opinion yourself. I said, we have this dispute out there when we agreed to disagree and stay with our brown and black outfit. The winner with the blondes embarrassing the hell out of that all the time on that. But nobody looked good. Johnny sat there square, he backed me up on that. None of us looked good out here. You're all ragamuffin guys. And it was really bad. And then, I don't know if you remember, maybe they flipped over pretty quickly. The pictures, half of the guys, well, myself, and a lot of others, long hair down our shoulders and beards, the hippie, okay? And actually, the Burton team, he was a beauty. On our the best. So we had that hippie look like half of the teams looked like they just came from Woodstock. Now, this is a good story. When we played in the Briar, the guy that was a reporter from Regina that wrote an article about the players and on the teams. And there were some really good teams, and there were, like Jimmy Russell and Rick Lang and some of these guys. There's some really good teams. And he wrote an article about some of the players. He suggests that the second on the Manitoba team, which was me, looked like Charles Manson. Now, you guys, the Sunbelt kids, do you know what I'm talking about? You do? Oh, excellent. This is not good. So right off bat, you can appreciate my image is not looking good. My only response was that I was at least 7 inches taller than Manson. And I didn't live in California either, so I was okay and that kind of stuff too. But we were, and when I look now, and I look at all this professional look in it, it's a credit to the team. Our guys in our time was ridiculous, but anyhow, you can see, I'll talk about a few big key issues, ice conditions. Now, in the last 4 or 5 years, I've been watching you guys, and you guys, all of you, the Mr. Woods and BJ Newfeld and all the guys in the crowd, you're heroes of mine. I've been watching you for years. You guys are phenomenal. The ice that you play on is unwatchable. You see here? Where? I know your brother. No, what you do is phenomenal. I have no regrets in my curling career except I never got to play on your ice. I watched it. It's unbelievable. You guys, we only did get into the 3-yard zone because I don't even understand it. So I don't even get into that and that. But when I watch what's going on now, it's another game totally. You guys made shots I've watched shots in the last 2 or 3 years that we never saw in each game. I would see shots we never saw in the 70s, unless it was a Hail Mary and you know what it And it was just really, really ugly. You guys, it's easy to make raised takeouts, angle raised takeouts, double triples, minute little hits and rolls into the center from the outside sheets. You know what I'm saying? How many things? This is unbelievable. To give you an idea of what we were up against, so hold those thoughts. In 1973, it's the first game I ever played in the Winnipeg Arena. We came out, the first game, we threw the rock as hard as we could to get it to the house, the other end. Wasn't good. Half the rocks were hard. And then the next, when you turned the rock over, it was green from straw. See, what happened in those days, you guys with the pushers, you don't know, oh, this guy's, you see these relics here. When guys got into the Winnipeg Arena or they got into the Provincial, they all kind of new rules. And it took 2 or 3 games to break these things in, and they left a mess on the ice. It was just unbelievable, the kind of squaw. So that the first few games were disastrous. It took 2 or 3 games to break these things in. So we're sitting there going, oh man, the curling was horrendous. Yet 7,000 or 8,000 people thought it was great. Those of us still playing it, going, oh, geez, well, somebody's still got to win, somebody's still got to lose, so they have to hang in there. We were up, in the first game, we were up 12-4 after 6 ends. It's a 12-end game. 12, the other team decided to quit. We could not get our gloves off fast enough because we thought if they changed the line, they could still lose 25-24 in extra end. It was awful. And you know, the ice sort of improved over time a little bit as the Bruins broke down and that kind of stuff. But if you had to throw rocks on the outside 12 foot, you know, on the D line, and the outside 12 foot, and you had to make a hit there, basically it was a Hail Mary. Okay? If you hit it, perfect. If you stuck around, bonus. And none of this stuff that you guys you hit lower. Like when I look at it, it's just absolutely amazing what to see. Here's in 1976, we played at the bar in Regina, and wait for it now, in the entire week, we made 0 come-outs. The entire week. You could not make it come around. You put the rule down, that's what it was. Whether it was a hit or not. It was very exciting. Once again, somebody has to in, somebody has to live. 5,000 people from our time. It surely all these misses that you ever see. When you go a little outside, it's gone. You know, and it was unbelievable. Back in those days, if you curled over 80%, you were excellent. You know, nobody like these 90s and 100s that you guys play off now. It's just unbelievable. But the ice was that bad. So when I see Washington, when I see your ice, I go, wow. Like what I don't know what they were doing and thinking. You know, but anyhow, it was these were disastrous times. But anyhow, it was still exotic to be able to play on something like that. It shouldn't have been called curling. It should have been called straight. Now we're now at the Regina Straighting Championships, and we got this ragtag team from Manitoba in here. But anyhow, so the other thing, so the ice change is just one of the most dramatic things. But deliveries. Now, this is really not may sound nothing to you guys here, but in talking to these young guys here, by the way, thank you for putting up with us here. The only bonus you had is that you got the buffet table first, right? Which is good. But then, yeah, deliveries. All of you guys now throw from the hat, which makes total sense. Okay? You don't have to lift the rock, you don't have to. The only exception, there may be a few exceptions, Kevin Pui. Okay? Kevin Pui, I'll have to demonstrate this. He comes back like this and he goes, like that, right? And then back down like that. He looks like he's trying to uncork a bottle of wine. That's weird. When we play, everybody had to backslide the rock, backed up. A lot of us buried the height and goal and all that kind of stuff too. And an interesting thing would happen seriously when you played in arena ice, the hacks were deeper or shallower than normal in a curling club because it didn't put the same thickness of ice in there. So the hacks would sit up. So guys would make the backswing, they would hit the hat on the way back. I threw a rock. One of the first hits I did, I hit the hat. I bounced up, I'm now 3 feet off the center. Valiantly trying to get the rock back. I made an attempt, didn't work. I hit the boards 5 feet before I far in, before the hog line. Fortunately, I curled with Claire DeMond, and there's a few guys in the room know this guy quite well. Probably as nice a curler that ever played the game. 10 years of playing with this guy. This guy never, ever got mad. So after I delivered this rock to this side of the hog line in the boards, he just put up his glove with a short little grin and said, "You were just a shame one." But the deliveries, but here's, and some of the old guys will know this one, there's one curling delivery in the history of the curling game that was without doubt the most amazing curling delivery of all time, and it was by former, multi-time Saskatchewan champion Bob Pickering. The old guys want to talking Pickering, he would, wait for it now, I don't want to throw myself up, he would pick the rock up back over his head. If you're golfers, the top of his backswing. And he would bring that rock down. Unbelievable. He was an amazing player. Do not try this at home. Because you'll never play another game again because you'll have to go for surgery. But it was absolutely amazing to see this. And everybody, all the old guys know who I'm talking about because they said, I've played against him a couple of times. He was a gentleman, it was smaller. He was just a great guy. Not a big man. He'd be out 5'11", 6 foot, about 170 pounds. But he'd try and think about that. And then bring that rock down delicately somehow. I don't know how he did that. And then out with a draw or a hit. And actually, Don Dugan, it's too bad Dugan isn't here because in 1970, Dugan played Pickering in the final game in the round robin to win the rock. He beat Pickering to win the rock. So, but now delivered. So now we got sweeping. Sweeping as you demonstrate here in the old days with all straw rooms. My brother and I we had brick rocks. There was another kind of thing, but there's still an artificial room in that. They were quite effective actually. So we had these straw rooms, and we all used these straw rooms, except who comes along with Paul Gauzel. Paul Gauzel is a phenomenal junior team from Calgary who won the World Junior in 76 and 78. They used push brooms. Nobody else had ever used push brooms in Canada at that time, except expat Scots that came over and played deep roof at the lodge or something like that. But nobody used push brooms. These kids came onto the circuit, onto the Bondsville circuit against all us older guys, and they were phenomenal. They were at the top of the game. They were in the top 2 or 3, if not the top team in Canada, and they were able to do things with the rock that none of us had ever seen before with the push broom. So it was quite obvious that if we didn't want to be dinosaurs, we're going to have to change. Now this is really difficult. You can imagine those of us who used straw brooms, we were not really, the change is not good. We were changing in the system at the time in Canada. We were going from Celsius and then metric. So this was hard for us to comprehend all of this. So now we got to change our sweeping. And actually it was really, really difficult. The only ones, the young guys out of Assiniboine that worked on set, and then of course the great Terry Burtnick team, they picked up on it very quickly. They were able to see those of us with straw brooms or whatever, we had kick with our kicking foot, and then we'd slide and sweep. And now we got to take the slider off and stamp it down there. So impossible. We couldn't do this. And we're not really good at that. As a matter of fact, after a while you could see some of the older guys who this. So if you walk into a curling club and watch some of the old guys and think, those guys using metal detectors up there, and it was awful. And now when I look at what you guys do with the straw room, I think you make a rock move. We're talking at the table there. Well, this is impossible for us to even comprehend. And we talk about carving a rock. Now, Mike, you said you carve a rock. Now, the only carving we did was at Thanksgiving with a turkey. So carving, we can't even comprehend. So once again, I have no idea what this is called about. But here's something, a what-if story. Paul Gauzel, you may not know this, but I found out, talking to his third, that Paul Gauzel was a world-class downhill skier. He was ranked second behind Ken Reeve, who was a phenomenal international skier in Calgary. And he was this amazing athlete. So I once said to Gauzel, I said, why didn't you keep up with the skiing? He said, well, I got into curling, there was money to be made. But if Gauzel had stuck with skiing, which he was brilliant at, then the straw brooms, or the brushes wouldn't have come out. Think about it. Now what would have happened if Gauzel didn't play? Seriously, think about where the game would be. Who knows? What would we be using now? I don't know, vacuum cleaners? It really is something to think about. But Resby, I'll try and wrap this up a bit. But Resby sort of talked about us playing in the Brier in '76. It was really quite, and for anybody like some of the guys here that have been in there, the students of this sort of these you guys have played in so many times, it's just second nature. for those of us that go there once, it is an honor, and it is very humbling. And that, so we get to play in the Briar. And, you know, right from the start, we go to Regina, and Regina's a great curling town, of course, because everybody in Saskatchewan knows of curling. So we get in there, and the Briar banquet was eating fabulous. So we're like this, you know, and all the participants from all the provinces are there, all these VIPs, and a lot of these ex-curlers were drivers, like Richardson and some of these guys that were champions and we grew up idolizing it, that were the on drivers. But anyhow, the banquet the guest speaker was supposed to be John Diefenbaker, former prime minister, who was from Saskatchewan. But he got ill at the last minute, and he couldn't make it. So the officials had to go. This one artist was in charge of it. He pulls in Sam Richardson to be the guest speaker. Sam Richardson played with the legendary Richardson team from Saskatchewan, the 4-time world champions. And those of us that knew Richardson, this was one character of the guy. Now, he got up there, and he was amazing. He talked about curling in the Briar, curling in the wars against the Scots and drinking whiskey beyond belief. And he came up with the best line I've ever heard. And I suggest you might want to make notes of this. But he said guys would come up to them and say, why is it that you guys score so many 3-enders? Sam's reply, 3 off or 4. Think about it. Oh, I said that to one group, nobody got it. So at least somebody got it. You know what? Are you okay with this? But anyhow, so we halfway through the week, we lost our first 2 games. We're not any optimal. We're trying to make a comeback. So almost midway through, Wayne Sokolowski from Alberta is leading the field with 8 straight wins. Okay, so there was an article in the Regina Leader Post from a tribal writer from Alberta saying Alberta teams are head and shoulders above any other teams in Canada, including you guys from Saskatchewan and Manitoba. We know more about the game. We have better strategy. We're just better teams than you guys are. Sokolowski ended up losing 6 straight after that. And the reporter was halfway back to Calgary before the last draw was even made. But on the last draw, we're sitting at, it's around robin. Okay, we're sitting at 7-3. Newfoundland is sitting at 8-2. Newfoundland, we're playing beside them in the last draw. If Newfoundland loses and we win, there's a playoff for the draw. So we got a chance. Okay, so this is good. We're all different. So moving along, okay. So as time goes on, near the end, we glance over and we see Jack McDuff make his last shot to win the round. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we look at each other and see, well, our dream is gone. But that was not the problem. The problem is, this is 12 games. The problem is, we still have skip swats in the 11th. So we still got to play the 11th and the 12th. And all other games are finished. The Briar is over. Newfoundland is won, and we're still out there. So the guy, the head CEO of McDonald's, is there. He's got, traditionally, he would bring his fabulous fur coat and wear a McDonald's town, you know, with Briar. He's giving up the Briar. And he's standing there and giving us these looks. Now, it's brutal. Okay, we're really delaying everything by a good half an hour. I could see him, I glanced over, I could see him like this, closing like this. And I swear I heard him say, look, I got a flight to catch. What the hell are you guys doing? Moving. Anyhow, we finally finished. We did fortunately win the game. And we came running up. And actually, very proud of that even. And we got silver trophies. Now, I understand the guys in the Briar get $60,000, but hey, you can have a lot of trades. But anyhow, no, it's still wonderful. He was sort of sarcastic when he handed up the trades, but nonetheless, it was just an honor to play in that. But the reality is, as Resby talked about, 76 was the last time they used 12 amps, and because of us. The 77 Briar with Usakis was now down to 10 amps. So all you guys can thank us for 10 amps. It was our So anyhow, there's a million things that have changed, and I'm a big fan of watching you guys play at the top level. You're phenomenal, and I wish you all the best. We got a wonderful heritage that goes back to the 20s and that with the woods and that. We have a wonderful heritage here, and I think I want to see somebody from here win and go out and bring the Briar back home and the Worms. Okay? So good luck with everybody, and thanks for listening. All right. Bye.
You know, I called Don and I said, Don, I need you to talk for 10 or 12 minutes. He said, I can't talk for 10 or 12 minutes. Turns out he can't. One last acknowledgement. We talked about all the champions. It just seems to me the unsung heroes are the guys who lost the final game, because none of you would be champions if the poor suckers hadn't been out there. Now, a few guys played a few finals, lost a couple finals, and they won a couple, so not a big deal. A few guys played a final, never played another final. Lost a final. And I gotta tell you, I don't brag often, but I get to do it because I get the microphone. I have, for years, had great admiration for Terry Burdick, Canalock, Spencer, 1981 champions. Resentment for Mark Olson. Not so much that he wasn't a good player. He was a pretty decent player. Oh, I think, no, I won't say that because that might actually be true. 1981, team I was on happened to lose the Briar, or the Tented final to Kerry, who were, by the way, a far superior team to us. So, but my team, for granted, is nominated for the Western Manitoba Team of the Year. We lose Brendan's son at the end of the year. Nominated for Team of the Year. That's a pretty big deal. Well, we had lost. So you could tell sports in Western Manitoba hadn't had a great year. Because if a Team of the Year nominee lost, what did the other guys do? So there was a basketball team from BU and a hockey team of some description and probably a baseball team, curling team. 4 of us lost to Mark Olson's grandfather-in-law and his dog, Pelican Pete, too. And I've resented Olson ever since because of that. Who in the hell loses to a dog? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for your attention tonight. That does conclude our program. I am going to ask one more time a round of applause for these great champions who've joined us. And then I'm going to ask, as we break up, could I get all of those champions, the past champions, to come forward, because we want to get a group picture of that group of individuals here up on the stage. Tony Goldberg going to take the picture. I have no idea how she's going to organize it. But that's it for tonight. Good luck. Good pulling to everyone.